Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Thursday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a collaboration beer between two breweries that are, I don't want to say opposite sides of the country, but one's in the Midwest and one's on the East Coast. So they teamed up to come out with this Dave Chappelle skit-inspired beer. That's the main reason why I bought this, because I love the Dave Chappelle show. And when it comes to when I saw this one, I was like, oh, I have to get my hands on this thing, because if you know about the Player Haters Ball, then you definitely know. But today, that's what we got. It's the Player Haters Ball collaboration between Withered Souls Brewing Company out of Texas and then Mortalis Brewing Company out of New York. So they decided to come out with an Imperial Stout coming at a 12.8% ABV, and it's an Imperial Stout with peanut butter, marshmallows, and toasted cacao nibs, which I'm very, very interested to see how this is. Of course, I love having Imperial Stouts with peanut butter. I love having higher ABV Imperial Stouts, and so this one definitely caught my attention. So I'm pretty damn excited. It's, like I said, 12.8%. So it's going to be boozy. I think it's going to be boozy. And then it says 50 IBUs on here. So I'm expecting maybe they have a little bit of like a bitterness on this one, just to kind of balance out the kind of boozy, kind of sweet flavors you're going to get. But yeah, I've had a few beers from Withered Souls. I've had a few beers from Mortalis, and they're both great breweries. I love a lot of the stuff that I had from them. So seeing these guys come together, I had to pick it up. So without further ado, I think it's time for us to crack this thing open. I'm looking for a really, really nice kind of, I want to think it's going to be like a pastry stout, because I don't think it is. I think you're going to get peanut butter, you're going to get chocolate, you're going to get booziness. The marshmallow is going to add sweetness and creaminess to it. So yeah, let's crack this thing open and see what this thing's like on the nose, because I'm curious. Okay. Don't mind me. Let me get a towel, because this thing was filled to the brim. So the moment I freaking cracked it open, beer got all over my hands. But that's okay. But, oh yeah, definitely getting peanut butter coming through. It's actually a lighter peanut butter. It's almost like a creamy kind of peanut butter on the nose. Definitely getting booziness. Yeah, it smells delicious. So without further ado, let's pour this thing. Gonna be drinking it out of my Riverlands, a little tulip glass, and let's see how this thing pours. I'm expecting nice, dark, just black as my soul darkness. And that's exactly what we're getting. Not really much carbonation coming from this guy, because it's... I wonder if this was barrel aged. It doesn't say anything about it being barrel aged, but look at that. That looks delicious. Okay, the head's starting to come up a little bit on it. But look at that. That's just a dark, delicious. Yeah, the chocolate and the peanut butter are definitely the most predominant kind of aromas coming from it. Yeah, it smells delicious. It smells absolutely delicious. So, of course, if you can't get your hands on this one from either Withered Souls or Mortalis, let's see if they show any ones on here that I can see as similar beers. And, of course, looks like the brewery's been showing up on a lot of different similar beers ones lately. So the brewery is out of California, and they do a lot of great stuff over there. So they're suggesting two of their Black Tuesdays on here, which I don't really know if I'd consider those. Of course, when it comes to like a peanut butter stout, there's a bunch of different options out there, of course. But when it comes to the booziness you're going to get from this one, with it being a 12.8%, that's where it's going to be a little bit iffy, because you can find peanut butter stouts and with chocolate flavors and cacao nib marshmallows all over the place. A lot of breweries make that kind of stuff. So, but when it comes to that higher ABV, I could probably suggest stuff from like Energy City makes some nice higher ABV Imperial Stouts. They have like a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Stout that I think may be pretty similar to this one. Hubbard's Cave definitely makes a peanut butter stout that may be pretty close to this. But overall, yeah, there's a bunch of different breweries out there that are making Imperial peanut butter stouts and all that kind of stuff. So just got to look around. If you want to kind of get something that's going to imitate the flavors of this a little bit, of course, kind of look for something that's a little bit more of a higher ABV. That's going to be a good start, just because you're going to get almost a similar amount of booziness. You're going to kind of see how the peanut butter and the chocolate's going to work with that booziness coming through and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's time for us to give this guy a try, because I'm excited for this one. So without further ado, let's do it. So, cheers, everybody. Happy Thursday. Ooh, oh yeah, that's a strong one, all right. So, right off the bat, getting a nice, like, a mixture between, like, milk chocolate and creamy peanut butter, which is really, really nice. Those flavors are definitely were the most predominant on the aromas, so I'm glad to kind of be getting them in the front when it comes to flavors. Almost, almost getting like a mocha fudgy kind of aftertaste coming through. It's definitely really, really creamy. It's really syrupy. Not like it's not really having any effervescence to it whatsoever. And the booziness is definitely predominant in this one. So I'm actually surprised how boozy it is, just because I've seen a lot of breweries come out with like higher ABV Imperial Stouts, and the flavors that they're putting in there are so pungent to where you really don't get the booziness. But this one is like a nice balance of pungent peanut, like milk chocolate and peanut butter, and then still having that booziness kind of add a note to it that is just very, very delicious. So, of course, with them using cacao nibs in this one, toasted cacao nibs to be specific, sometimes adding cacao nibs does add bitterness. So when it comes to helping with that IBU rating, because that's an IBU rating is it's a scale of measuring bitterness in a beer. A lot of the times it's related to hops and all that kind of stuff. I can see maybe the cacao nibs adding to bitterness. Of course, when you're adding hops to the boil, most likely there's going to be a little bit of bitterness coming from that, but I think that's going to be mostly in there to balance out the sweet flavors you're going to be getting from either the peanut butter, the chocolate, and the marshmallow and all that kind of stuff. So overall, yeah, this is absolutely delicious. I'm really, really liking this one so far. So let's see what else we got here. With all that being said, let's look here on Untappd and let's read the description of this guy and see what the ratings are like. So, of course, pretty much explained everything when I read it off the can. Imperial Stout with peanut butter, marshmallows, and toasted cacao nibs. Of course, if they wanted to kind of keep that kind of sweetness in there with the kind of still getting that chocolate flavor in there, you could have used the husks from the cacao nibs and all that stuff. The plant itself, the husks are actually used to pretty much make a lot of good chocolatey flavors as well. So you can use the nibs, which sometimes adds bitterness as well. Maybe they're trying to do that. But if you're trying to look for more of just like a nice sweeter chocolate, in my opinion, the husks of the cacao is always really, really good to use. But let's see, what else we got here? 12.8. Yep, I already mentioned 12.8% on the ABV. Would not consider this sessionable at all. After one of these, I think you're going to kind of start feeling a little bit of a buzz going through. And with over 752 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.09 out of 5, which is pretty damn good. And I know I've had a couple people on my friends list who check this one in. I have a buddy, Rob Lopez, checked this one in back in October. Well, last October, and he gave it a full 5 out of 5. He was like, this is awesome. And my dad checked this one in back in September, and he gave it a 4.25, purchased off Tavor, which is how we got ours. And he says, wow, this is a dark as night, chocolatey, and strong. Yeah, I definitely agree. This is definitely more of a pungent, kind of boozier Imperial Stout, which is nice. It's kind of a nice change of pace when you know it's boozy. Just because when some of these like really, really smooth, creamy Imperial Stouts, you really can't taste the booziness in it sometimes. All you get is just the flavors they're trying to make out of it. And you really don't realize how boozy it is until you've had the whole entire can and be like, oh, hello. So, yeah, on my friends list, I have some pretty good responses on this one. So let's look here on the global rating. Let's see what people had to say on this guy. So, this guy checked it in, didn't really give it a rating, just said he checked it in, didn't need to, whatever. Let's see, this guy gave it a 4 out of 5, saying fun can design, tasty beer, #beer, Katma. I don't know what that means, but let's see what else we got here. We got a 3.25 here, maybe didn't like the booziness, who knows, on that person. This guy checked it in, purchased on Tavor, just didn't give it a rating. And let's see what else. We got another 4.25, drank it at Kelly's Pub, which is most likely somebody's house because some people like creating venues on Untappd as their house just because if they're having a lot of parties or if they're having a bunch of people over all the time that are drinking beer, why not make a venue for it or a check-in location? Let's see what else here. We got another 4.25 purchase off Tavor. We got a 4.5 here purchase off Tavor. And somebody commented on that one saying player hater of the year. Yes, I love all the references to the player haters ball on this one. Of course, people in the comments and all that stuff are definitely doing it too. This is another one that somebody made a good reference to it. 3.75 and saying hate, 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 which is what the crowd was cheering during the Player Hater of the Year award. And then let's do 2 more off this. And then, okay, this guy didn't give a rating, but it says one of these years I'll figure out the peanut butter isn't his thing. Still not overall a bad Imperial Stout. So this guy looks like he drinks a lot of Imperial Stouts, but is just not a fan of peanut butter in him, which that's totally your opinion, all that kind of stuff. You're allowed to have that and all kinds and that, but sometimes I think with that you just have to find the right stout. And there's a bunch of breweries out there. When it comes to adding peanut butter, you can either add the powdered version, which comes in like a jug kind of thing with powdered peanut butter and all that kind of stuff, or you can actually use like a jar of Skippy peanut butter, all that kind of stuff. You can do that as well. But it just depends on how messy you want the cleanup to be in the bright or the fermenter after that, depending on what stage you add the peanut butter in. But let's see what else. We got another 4 out of 5 here purchased out to Warren. Let's do one more. We got here, gave it a 4 out of 5 and just said taster tick. Okay, yeah. And let's see. Oh, actually, let's do one more. This one's pretty good. Another 425 says, love the PB, and he purchased it at the Black Market, which is a speakeasy in Lavender Hills, New York City, New York. So, yeah, a lot of pretty good ratings on this one. A lot of 4 out of 5s, some 3.25s, maybe some around like the 2.753 area. But most likely it's somebody who is not really used to this kind of style of beer. So overall, yeah, the flavors I'm getting from this one are pretty damn fantastic. So I am really, really enjoying this. Okay, so what'd you say, Ian? Saloon Door has a ridiculous AF 12% PB Stout. That is damn good. Yeah, that sounds delicious. I love when, because a lot of the peanut butter stouts, there is kind of like a realm of ABV that I've noticed them be around. I've never really seen a lot of breweries kind of get into that sweet peanut butter chocolatey stouts that have like a higher ABV to kind of add booziness to help with kind of just some of those sweet flavors. Of course, maybe depending on what chocolate element they put in there, help add bitterness to balance it out. Of course, help balance out that booziness in there as well, because that can be pretty strong on the palate. But overall, yeah, this beer is delicious. So let's look back over here on Untappd. Actually, before we do that, let's look at Weathered Souls and Mortellus' brewing company's website. Of course, they're both, the links are down in the description below. I don't think this one's available, but let's take a look and see if anything is available when it comes to something similar to this. Of course, let's see. Adventurer 4-pack. What is this? Okay. I mean, they have a 4-pack called the Adventurer. It's an Imperial Stout with Girl Scout Adventurefuls cookies, which is like a brownie batter, caramel, sea salt, 10.5% from Weathered Souls. So if you want to go on their website, actually, is that sold? Oh, never mind, sold out. Just ignore everything I just said. That actually sounds delicious. Holy crap. But that's okay. So maybe they might still have that on tap over there, but I don't think does it say anything on their website of what they have on tap? Let's see. There we go, beers on tap. Let's see if there's anything similar to this when it comes, if you wanted to stop over at Weathered Souls. And unfortunately, if this one's not around, you might be able to find something that's similar to this. They got an Irish cream stout available, 12%. And then they got one called, what the hell? Can to go. Let's see. They have a couple Imperial stouts available for cans to go. Oh, so it just scrolls on its own. That's interesting. So it's like on a timer, so it goes through 3 pages. So if you want to see what's available on Weathered Souls' website right now, if you want to stop over there and have a beer, you can go to their website. It kind of has like an updated Untappd kind of check thing where it goes through 3 pages on a timer, so you can kind of gradually see what's available over there right now. But at Mortellus, let's see, what do they have at the tap room right now? Let's see. Well, let's go to the draft list. Let's see what we got. Anything that can be similar to this. Of course, Mortellus is definitely known for making one that's pretty popular called their Hydra line, which I've reviewed stuff from their Hydra before. And they have one called the Slush Mellow here, which is a fruited sour. I love their Hydras when it comes to all that kind of stuff. So, and they actually collabed with 450 North on that one. But getting back to the Imperial Stout side of things, if you want to stop at Mortellus, you have an Imperial Coffee Stout available coming at a 10% called As Above, So Below. It's a peanut butter marshmallow coffee stout, which sounds delicious. And then you got okay, so it's a variant of the As Above, So Below. So you can get the peanut butter marshmallow variant of it, or you can just get the regular Imperial Coffee Stout of As Above, So Below, which is, they're both 10%. So they just probably added the peanut butter and the marshmallow. I think that one may be pretty close to this one as well. So if you want to head over to Mortellus, I think that the As Above, So Below may be a good variant because there's peanut butter marshmallow in there. Less boozy, but I think the coffee is going to help add the bitterness that's going to round out the sweetness you get from the peanut butter and the marshmallow and possibly the chocolatey flavors you would get So, yeah, both breweries have some pretty good stuff available on tap over there right now. Of course, let's see if there's anything similar to the Goes, where if you wanted to stop in there, grab a 4-pack, you can. Let's see, the fruited sours, double IPAs. Doesn't look... Okay, they have a stout here. What's this? Okay, it's a 7% stout. Definitely wouldn't really consider that in the realm of this. But if you want to go in there, have a drink at the tap room, looks like both of these breweries have something that may tickle your fancy on each one of them. So that's pretty damn good. So with all that being said, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings on our end over here on this guy. Let me pour a little bit more into the glass. And of course, let's have a little drink because it's delicious. And let's look at can art. And of course, like I said before, if you guys recognize the name of this beer with it being the Player Haters Ball, you obviously know it's an homage to the Chappelle Show skit of the Player Haters Ball. And it's fantastic. They had iced tea in there and all that kind of stuff. It's a great skit. And they kind of took some of the members of the breweries between Weathered Souls and Mortellus and put their faces on characters. So I think that is a really, really cool thing. That there, of course, you got the winner of the Player Haters Ball right there. I completely forgot his name already. Jesus Christ. I just watched the skit this afternoon to kind of reintroduce myself to it. But yeah, I love the can art. I love that they kind of took a really, really funny skit from the Chappelle Show. Of course, you can find that on YouTube as well. Just type in Player Haters Ball. You'll be able to find the skit right away. It's the first thing that pops up. But yeah, they took their own swing on the kind of skit that Dave Chappelle Show did. So they put their face on characters. So it's, of course, you got the members of the breweries, you got the pimp-like outfits. It's just really, really cool. Of course, you got Pitbull on the side, which that's the only name I remember right now. But yeah, I really like the can art. It's unique. It's funny. Like I said, it's not. I want to say it's not one of those things that would catch my attention at a liquor store or bottle shop, but I think just because it's the Player Haters Ball, that would be the main thing that catches my attention. Of course, you guys know by now that I like can arts with a lot more detail and just like intricate and all that kind of stuff. But this one is still fun and it's really, really cool. So I'll give this a 4.25 out of 5 for can art. I enjoy it. So let's see what else here. If I got this beer in a flight, let's just say if Mortellus or Weathered Souls decide to come back and re-release this one and they both had it on tap, would I get another one if I had it in the flight? Abso-freaking-lutely. I really like the balance between the sweetness and the booziness. Of course, having that little bitter edge at the end kind of balances out all of that, so where it's not too predominant in any way when it comes to booziness or sweetness. So overall, I think both of these breweries did a fantastic job with this one. So with that being said, what's my final rating on this guy going to be? That's a tough one, to be honest. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Shit. I think I'm going to give this one a very, very solid 8.25 out of 10. Really, really good. Of course, if you can want to try to find it, if you can get your hands on it, more than welcome to see if your local liquor store or bottle shop has anything from either Mortellus or Weathered Souls. And of course, they can always ask their distributor as well if you want to see if they can get something in, or you can ask for this beer specifically and see if maybe the distributor has it, because if they do, they'll most likely bring it in. But other than that, you'll be able to find stuff from Mortellus or Weathered Souls on Tavour. You guys hear me talk about them all the time. It's a beer delivery service out of Washington State, and they deliver beer all around the country. When it comes to the U.S., they mostly like to stick to being in more suburban areas, because sometimes states have a little bit iffy laws when it comes to shipping alcohol. Plus, they take advantage of small courier service as well, to where if you wanted something delivered to you, it goes through the courier service, and then the courier service delivers it to you. So most of those are usually in more suburban areas. So when it comes to finding a rural area to get Tavour delivered to you is going to be a little bit tough, just because some of the ranges of those courier services may not have the availability to go out to where you are. So my best option, if you want to try to find beers from either of these breweries, if you want to find them on Tavour, download the app through either the App Store between Android or iPhone. Just type in Tavour, it'll be the first thing, or you can go to the website description down below and create your account. They'll make you put in your zip code right away, and they'll let you know right off the bat if you can get stuff delivered to you from them. And Tavour is a fantastic platform when it comes to having 7,000 plus beers to choose from through the rotation, they like to choose beers that aren't close to you. So when you're creating your account, they'll most likely show beers on your list that is stuff that you normally can't get your hands on, just because it's more of availability in other states, and sometimes a lot of the times to where I'm getting a lot of breweries on the other side of the country for me, and I absolutely love it, because sometimes, usually, I can't get stuff from them. So being able to try all these other breweries, it's a really, really fun time, and they get... But if you're using them long enough, you can get your hands on secret stash stuff where it's very, very limited kind of releases of beers that they get. But it's overall a fantastic platform. I highly recommend anybody who has the opportunity to try it out, do yourself a favor and do it. But other than that, let's see what I got here. Of course, if you're a fan of social media and you like kind of checking in beers when it comes to... I completely forgot what I was going to say there. Oh yeah, Untapped. Back to the subject. If you're a fan of social media like Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and you like craft beer, you need to get yourself over to Untapped. It's a fantastic platform. Of course, we see people in chat talking about it right now with Ian and Face Meat trying to get each other added, because we've created a little bit of a craft beer community over here where we all like checking in beers, getting badges, and just trying all kinds of sit and see what each other are drinking. It's a really, really fun time over there. So if you're on Untapped and haven't shot me a friend request yet, link to my profile is down in the description below as well. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are amazing. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. And if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live to another review. I won't have a review for you guys tomorrow because I'll be working, but I should have reviews over the weekend for you guys, so just keep an eye out for those. I don't know about Sunday, do it to beat Easter Sunday and all that kind of stuff, but I'll most likely have one Saturday for you guys, so just keep an eye out on my YouTube or my Instagram. But of course, right after this review, I wanted to make a mention of this. I'm going to be showing the beers that I'm going to be redoing for my Patreon giveaway. Of course, if you guys haven't realized by now, earlier this week, I decided to start a Patreon just to give people other options if they wanted to support me in other ways, where you can become between 3 different tiers on my Patreon and have the opportunity to win a monthly 4-pack that I'm giving away of. Usually I'm going to try to stick to Illinois beers, just because there's so many breweries in the state of Illinois to where I want to kind of give people the opportunity to try out some stuff from my neck of the woods. So if you join my Patreon, you can have different tiers to where specific tiers get certain amount of entries into the end of the month 4-pack raffle that I'm doing. So keep an eye on my Instagram right after this, because I'm going to be going to put the post out, letting everybody know what you're going to be able to win. I already have all 4 beers picked out, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, that Instagram post is going to be going up right after this. I'm going to be getting all that together. So if you want to know what you have the ability to win, go on to... Just keep an eye on Instagram after this, and of course you'll be able to join my Patreon through my link tree that's in my bio on my Instagram, or it's even in the description down below if you want to join it as well. Plus I have a bunch of other things planned when it comes to making like custom glassware, custom coasters, koozies, all that kind of stuff. I have a bunch of things planned. I'm working on possibly doing a beer Discord, just because for my patrons, if you want to kind of get in, possibly do some buy-sell trading when it comes to beer, so people can trade beers, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I have a bunch of different ideas I'm trying to go through. So if you want to support me that way, a link to my Patreon is down in the description below if you want to do that. I'm not going to force anybody to if you don't want to. Of course, if you can't find it through there, if you're on your phone or something, you can also go to my Instagram and go to my link tree, and my link to my YouTube channel and my Patreon is on there as well. So if you want to support me, that'd be greatly appreciated. But other than that, that is what I have for you guys today. So again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm ending this like I always end it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.